I think there might actually be something.
Oh, well, we can just leave it there and we can
Keep an eye on it.
Awesome. Oh, I can even sit here.
It's like Connie Chung and Oprah.
We need a photo. Photo up.
So, thank you so much, Josephine, for inviting me to join you today. What a beautiful day to be out here in the center, in the heart of Greater Moncton, by the river. Right. I don't project like Josephine, so you'll have to bear with us. Okay, the little gremlins are settling down. So, thanks again for having me, Josephine, and for everyone who's come out to join us. It's really important in an election that we have people coming to ask questions and demanding more of their candidates and their MLAs, their future MLAs, because that's the only way that change really happens. If you don't participate, stuff isn't going to happen. That happens at all levels. So thank you for your questions in advance. And they're very thoughtful, and I have to say they do reflect a lot of what we've been hearing in Moncton Centre, on Facebook, at the door. And speaking of doors, we'll start with the first question. Have you gone door to door to engage with the public? And if so, what are the people of South Moncton talking about as their main concerns? Thank you and love you.
I love you too, whoever asked that question. No. Okay. So, thank you very much for that question. It's really interesting that they've been holding a snap election. This was done on purpose, and also the comments that some of the larger parties weren't going to be going door to door sort of caused us. Can I do this? Okay. Thank you. So the issue of going door to door was one that we actually discussed in our meetings, and sort of we got the impression that we weren't supposed to be going door to door. What we did, so the answer is yes, I did go door to door. What we did before going door to door is we made sure that within our party we had a strict protocol for our process. So basically, just so you know, I go, I knock on the door, I've got my mask, which I should be putting on closer here, except when I'm speaking, if this is on my chin. And then I step back and I wait for someone to answer the door. And so what I've been hearing most of all is, what are we going to do about, how are we going to help people dealing with homelessness? How are we, where's my water? What's going to be happening in the area? How can we support these people? And one thing I really want to emphasize is we're all the same. So, we really need to change our mindset, and we really need to understand that it's not about pushing anyone out into an area where we don't see them. It's not about not supporting our fellow citizens here. But I do realize that simply the problem is evident, and we see it all over the place. We have already in place programs that are established to help people in need, and that's all of us are going to need some help. There's already housing programs that are created. There's already funding for these programs that are created. It's simply our present government that is not pushing these programs through and not funding them properly. So with Green, we are absolutely going to be pushing these through. The Green Party, one of our goals is to make sure that one of the things we want to start with is a guaranteed income for people. We're going to start with people who have different abilities, so that we can make sure that everyone has an equal chance to be able to live comfortably. And that, you know, we live in this area, so we know that there's a lot that we need to work on. We know that there's a lot we need to support. Jill and I were really thinking about what kind of support I could give as an MLA. And my job as an MLA is to speak directly to people who are dealing with these kinds of issues and hear what they absolutely need. So I've gone to different, I've gone to Tent City. I've gone to speak with people there, people that are educated, more educated than I am, who simply haven't had a break. So it's all about